Everybody, Rosematter here, and welcome to part 4 of my Higurashi When They Cry Ray Let's Play. Last episode, the doctor, can't remember what his name is, spilled the beans on what Rika told him to his parents, or to her parents, and now everybody, Rosematter here, and welcome to part 4 of my Higurashi When They Cry Ray Let's Play. In the last episode, after talking with the doctor about her feelings and the whole thing about not being from this world and Hanyu and all that stuff, looks like the doctor went behind Rika's back and told her parents, so now they are seemingly taking her to a hospital, maybe to get looked at. They think there might be something wrong with her. Maybe they think she's got some sort of like internal head trauma or something. But either way, between her having to go to the hospital and in a conversation with Hanyu that the little marble thing that they communicate with is losing its power, Rika is running out of time to make a decision because she has found where the fragment is, and it is in her mother. So Rika has to make the decision to kill her mother to go to her previous world or to spare her mother and stay in this world. And her and Hanyu kind of saw both sides of things, and it seems unsure of how Rika is going to do this. So that is where we leave off, is with Rika having to make a decision. She has a time limit to do it, so I'm really excited to see maybe will the game give me a choice? What will she choose? I really don't know. She seemed to be kind of wavering, so we're gonna go ahead, probably finish up this chapter in this episode and see how this ends. So let's get into it. And the sun rose again on another wonderful day for Rika Furude. She took her first step, her first small effort to become friends with her classmates. Oh, that was another thing, was that uh it seems like her classmates, after everything that happened, they overheard her talking to the doctor and they're reaching out to her. So that's what made it even more difficult for Rika slash Berncastel to decide whether to live in this world or her old world, is because she's like, well, they're making an effort to be friends with me. Maybe I could be friends with them. Maybe I could make the best of this world. And at home, she was wrapped in her parents' love, and the sun, brightening her wonderful day, fell behind the mountains and disappeared. Oh, long, long ago, there was a god who appeared before mankind. Bread rained down from the heavens. Some lamented that it was not meat. Meat rained down from the heavens. Some lamented that they preferred bread. God descended down from the heavens. Until I know what will make all happy, water shall rain down. Water rained down from the heavens. All lamented that their clothes grew wet. Fire rained down from the heavens. All lamented that their homes burned down. God descended down from the heavens. Until I know what will make all happy, nothing shall rain down. Nothing rained down from the heavens. Some lamented God had abandoned them. Many things rained down from the heavens. Some lamented God would not make a choice. Huge rocks rained down from the heavens. At long last, there were none who lamented. Water rained down from the heavens. A passing traveler was grateful. God, thank you for the unexpected weather. With this, my journey will never be dull. God said nothing and watched him leave. All for the best. Gods and dice should both be silent. Okay, so wait, is it just gonna end with like, is that it? Is that how it ends? With like, oh, okay, it's still going. I was like, no, no, it can't end that way.
あら私がわかりますかリカちゃんわかりますです。ここは。
After hearing that answer, the nurse burst out of the room in sheer surprise. How rude.
イリー先生は
Irie!
レ
Irie!
スキュー呼んでリカちゃんの意識が戻りましたって伝えてください
Does that mean that... Does that mean Rika made her choice? Is she coming back to her old world so she didn't die? Like, is this after the accident? My head hurts. Oh shit. Irie!
よかった
Hey, it's good to see
本
him.
当によかった何があったか 覚えてますか？
Because they said about how Rika Furude in that world, like she could be friends. Does that mean that she managed to somehow come back to her old world, but also Rika in the other worlds? I'm so confused.
ここは診療所ですか？そうです。あなたはお友達とひなみ沢へ帰る途中、
Okay, okay.
事故に遭って頭部を強打し、ずっと意識が戻らなかったのです。このままもう意識が帰ってこないのではないかと危ぶまれていました。よかった。本当によかった。
Irie even had a few tears in his eyes as he spoke. I was still just a little scared. I wanted to make sure this was the world I knew so well, so I mustered my courage and asked Irie.
ええ、お友達のみんなもとても心配していたんですよ。
I mean, the way that they described the accident, I can't believe, like, she did. They said basically, like, she didn't. Didn't they say, like, she basically didn't have a face or something? Like, she was, like, absolutely demolished by that car.
さとこちゃんはもちろん、前原さんもミオンさんもレナさんも。残念ながらサトシ君はまだ目を覚ませる状態にはありませんが。僕のお母さんは記憶がまだ少し混乱しているようですね。
So I guess she must have killed her mother in the previous world, right? So I'm just like, but they made it seem so happy, like Rika Furude was able to like be with her friends and make friends again. But I want to see what happened in the previous world. Like what?
長く意識が戻らないとよくあることです。
Or maybe this was all just a dream and she never experienced any of that in the first place. It was like a weird life lesson inside her head about like learning to not take people for granted and you know to not just take and give and respect Hanyu.
死んでるのですか？ええ、2年前の綿流しの日に眠っている間、お母さんの夢を見ていたのですか？ありがとう。もういいのです。
Knowing that my mother's dead gives me a complex feeling, but there wasn't any doubt that this was the world I knew so well. And according to Irie, it had been a little over a month since the accident. After telling me he'd be right back, he scrambled out of the room. Left in my hospital room filled with the voices of cicadas, I could do nothing but wander through my vague memories for a time. I was fooling around on my bike while heading home from playing at the pool with everyone, and got hit by a car, right? But the world I awoke to after that is still very vivid in my mind. And if this is my original world, then after grappling with that difficult choice, I chose my old world and safely ended my long journey to return to it? Or was that all just a long dream I had? Like Irie said, while I was in a coma from the accident. Are they really gonna play that all like it was just a dream? I didn't know.
Hanyu, いる？
He's here, okay.
よかった。目覚めた時にあんたが最初に見つからない世界は本当に心細いんだから。そんなこと今までに一度だってありましたですか？いつだってリカが目を覚ました時には一番最初に目に入るのは
So Hanyu seemingly has no knowledge of what happened to Rika. Hanyu speaks to me while wearing an affectionate expression, but her saying that at length just makes me remember the world of just a few moments ago. Because for the first time, Hanyu wasn't there when I woke up. Have you guys ever had a dream where it was so vivid? Like you just had a dream where it's like you were basically almost like in another world or like another timeline where your life was just so different, and then you just wake up and you feel really discombobulated for a bit. I've had that happen before. Must be that feeling times 100.
羽生、あの世界は夢だったの？それとも現実？リカの言っている意味がよくわかりませんのです。何かありましたのですか？本気で言ってるの？リカが何の話をしているのか僕にはわかりませんのです。
is it just like is it up to like the reader to like figure out like was that all just a dream or did she make that choice to kill her mother and come back to this world? Was Hanyu playing dumb or was she telling the truth? I couldn't
じゃ
tell.
あ私がさっきまでいたあの世界は何？夢なの？夢です。
A dream. Wow. She spoke so seriously. It's almost like she knows it wasn't a dream, but she doesn't want Rika to think about it. Hmm. Hanyu answered immediately. She's like, let's stop talking about this. That was a little strange, especially with the music just stopping. And hearing that convinced me that sinless world was no dream. Right? Right?
じゃあ私はこの手でまさか
My mother had the fragment. Yeah, that seemed a little bit too. It seemed to have wrapped up a little bit too well for Higurashi, right? Just like, oh no, just a dream. You didn't do anything bad. Don't worry, nothing happened. Nobody died. My mother had the fragment. I shouldn't have been able to return to my original world without killing her. If I were here, that meant I'd killed her. And then after I killed her, I had to kill myself, like usual, to send myself to the world of the gods. And conveniently, when I die, it goes back through my memories right before the event and tears them apart. Though it was only natural that my memories of personally killing my mother didn't remain. Trembling, I looked at the palms of my hands. They were pure white, pale and bloodless. No, that was just it. That alone made me remember the feeling spread across my hands. Oh, that warm, sticky, slimy sensation. Oh, damn. So it's like, oh shit. It's like Rika, she got back to her world, but at what cost? Like, this is the sinful world, right? It's like that was a sinless world and she had to commit a sin to come back to this world. My fragment welled up inside me. Something inside me was desperately holding back the memories of that alien world, crying out for some reason, desperately holding them back. Because if they spilled out, they would surely swallow me whole.
リカ、落ち着きなさいのです。
Oh, she's got that, like, creepy look in her eyes. Maybe if Hanyu hadn't answered so immediately, maybe she could have, and so seriously, maybe Rika could have just been in denial about it being a dream. Hanyu put her hand to my forehead, and I felt as though something was grabbing my lungs in a fist. A sense of suffocation, like something was squeezing the breath out of me. But it was squeezing those feelings about to swallow me up too, and they couldn't come up any further. In exchange for the choking sensation, I gulped down the rising emotions, beginning to steadily regain my composure. Hanyu realized that and took her hand away. And it's like, all better. Just push those feelings deep down inside and don't dwell on them. Everything is fine.
落ち着きましたのですか？リカは長く眠っていましたから混乱しているのでしょう。
Okay, I wonder if Hanyu's gonna go through exactly what happened. Please, I must know.
しばらくは入江の言う通りお薬を飲んだりして静養するといいのです。羽生、でも教えて。あの世界は本当に。ほら、みんなが来ましたのですよ。僕はお邪魔でしょうから。
Oh my
しばらく
goodness.
姿を消しますのです。羽生。
I started to hear many footsteps running down the hallway. So it's like even when she's back to this world she wanted so bad, she can't fully enjoy it because she had to do something horrible to get back here. Hanyu whirled around as though pivoting on her heel and vanished. In exchange, the hospital door clattered violently open, and my beloved club member friends appeared. Bleh.
リカ、リカ。サトコ。
おいおい、サトコ。リカちゃんは病み上がりなんだぞ。いきなりひっついちゃ。
いいんだよ、ケイチ君。よかった。本当によかった。
Clinging to me, Sadako fell to her knees on the spot and started bawling without hesitation. It's good to see, like, nice Sadako again.
おかえり、リカちゃん。私たちは絶対にリカちゃんが帰ってくるって信じてたよ。
ああ、俺たち全員が一つのことを信じたとき、絶対に奇跡が起こるんだからな。高野さんたちとのあのすげえ戦いだって、全員が奇跡を信じたから勝利できたんじゃねえか。
Oh, for Rika getting smoked by a car, she looks pretty good, all things considered. Doesn't even look like there's a scratch on her.
みんなね、必ずリカちゃんが帰ってくるって信じてたよ。毎日お見舞いに来てたんだよ。必ず明日は目覚めるって信じて、毎日お見舞いに来てたんだよ。よかった。監督が言うには、少々記憶に混乱が出てるって話。まさかとは思うけど、おじさんたちのことを忘れちゃいないよね。さとことレナ、ケイチのことはわ
Oh,
かりますが、
Rika, you little
ミー
shit.
のことはわかりませんのです。ミパ
大丈夫みたいだな。
This was something I couldn't ever have asked before, but just to make absolutely sure this really was my original world, I asked anyway, pretending my memory was still confused.
サトシは来ないのですか？
Sadako gave a somewhat lonely smile and spoke.
ニーニーは一昨年に家出しちゃったきり帰ってこないじゃありませんの。リカったら忘れん坊さんですわね。
Her expression made my chest tighten. She was definitely the Sadako from my original world.
なるほど。確かに多少記憶が混乱してるみたいだね。一過性だそうだから気にすることはないってさ。寝起きに電話もらったら寝ぼけて変なこと言っちゃうのと同じだそうだから。そうだね。だって1ヶ月近くもずっと眠ってたお寝坊さんだもんね。
It's like the equivalent of like when you have a nap. Like you just mean to lay down, just rest your eyes, and then you wake up 4 hours later and you're like, where am I? What year is it?
その1ヶ月の間、夢を見ていた気がしますです。私たちが心配してたのは、
Yeah, about that.
気楽なことでございますわね。そこはとっても不思議な世界だった気がします。そこはここと同じひなみ沢なのですが、いろいろなところが違っていました。まずケイイチがいませんのです。
Oh, is she going to mention that Satoshi was with them? And also everybody who was not
おいおい、
friends?
なんだよ、俺だけのけ者かよ。
それはケイイチが鉄砲の
Oh
事
man,
件
she's
を
gonna
起こ
tell
して
them
いない
everything.
世
Well,
界だからなのですよ。
it is good. I mean, the whole reason that a lot of the events from Higurashi happened in the first place was because people were not communicating, so maybe Rika, is she even going to tell them, like, I had to kill my mother in that world?
ケイイチがあれだけ後悔したあの事件がない世界。ううん、それだけじゃないのです。
I realized this would be my only chance to confess to my own sin. Everyone listened as I told them about that world. Whenever some small thing was different, they'd respond one way or the other about it, but they listened to me seriously.
そして僕がここにいるということは、その世界とこの世界を天秤にかけ、こっちの世界を選んだからだと思いますです。それは多分サンズの川のこっちと向こうだね。臨死体験ってやつだと思うよ。向こうの世界を選んでいたらリカちゃんは多分帰ってこられなかったね。向こうを選べば確かに僕は帰ってこなかったと思いますのです。
俺たちはみんなリカちゃんが帰ってくるって信じてたぜ。そしてリカちゃんも帰ると信じたから、お互いの手が届き合ったってことなんだろうな。眠りながらリカちゃんも帰ってくるために努力したってことなんだろうと思うぜ。
It's all ending flowery and stuff, but I wonder if the very end is just going to be Rika, like, dealing with the PTSD of, like, the feeling of her killing her mother, and she's going to have to deal with that.
えらいえらい。
Keiichi grinned and patted my head, but it seemed like he was mistaking what I meant. I hadn't returned. I'd compared that world and this one, and chosen this one. Why had I chosen this world? Because this one was more comfortable to be in. Sadako was always with me. Everyone in the club was here, and they were nice to me and spoiled me. See? Even with all that, like, she had those like, she's still deep down a little bit selfish, right? Like she chose the world that was more comfortable to her, not the world where it was better for everybody else but her. I'm not admonishing I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm not criticizing her choice. But it just shows that like she may have learned some stuff, but at the end she still chose kind of the more selfish option instead of choosing the sinless world where her friends may have been happier at the detriment to her. She chose the world where like she kind of gets the better end of that deal. But all that was still a world built on top of everyone's sins and misfortune. In other words, I had chosen to sacrifice the others for my own happiness. I mean, at least she's self aware of that. Shamelessly, self centeredly, and selfishly. Everyone was fulfilled in that world. Only I wasn't. But I knew that I too could be happy if I put in the hard work, which is like, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to put in the work. But she just wanted like the safe world, the comfortable world. But at the very end, I had chosen this world. I chose the world where I could rest on my laurels atop the suffering and tears of my friends. This is a very interesting like kind of like a philosophical question is what decision would you make if you had the choice where like you could choose between a world where you were happy but everybody else close to you was, suffered in some way, even if they could be kind of happy in the end together. Would you choose that world, or would you choose the world where you weren't happy and you knew what you were missing out on, but everyone close to you kind of got the better end of that deal, right? She's just gonna have to live with that now.
それはとっても面白そうな世界だね。ありがとう。レナたちのことをせめて夢の中だけでも幸せにしてくれたんだね。
Rena smiled as she said that. Only she seemed to understand what I really meant by what I'd said. Of course, Rena gets it.
でもね、もしその2つの世界をレナにも選ばせてもらえるなら、レナはこっちの世界を選んで正解だと思うかな。
Aw. I'm wondering, does Rena truly believe that, or is she saying that to make Rika not feel bad about her choice?
どうしてなのですか？確かに、レナにとってお母さんの離婚はとっても悲しい出来事だった。そのせいでいろいろなことが変わっちゃったけど、でもそのおかげで学び取ったたくさんのこともある。だからね、リカちゃんの言う向こうの世界のレイナは、きっとこの世界のレナよりも人間的に劣っていると思う。リカちゃんはレナのことをレイナであっても模範的な人間だと夢で思ってくれたようだけど、レナが本当にレイナだった時はあまり尊敬できる人じゃなかった。
I don't know. Rena was still like, she was still willing to stick up for Rika and kind of bring her into the fold.
だからレナはお母さんの離婚はとても辛くて悲しいことだったけど、人生の試練の一つだったんじゃないかなって今は受け入れることができるもん。
人生の試練やあるいは挫折が人を成長させるってのは確かにあるね。
そうだな。レナの言うのは俺にもわかるぜ。その世界の俺はひなみ沢に来てねえが、多分ろくでもないやつだったと思うぜ。あの事件は確かに俺にとって生涯忘れちゃいけない痛恨の極みだ。
Okay. There's a very mature way to think about that. They're like their failures and mistakes made them grow as people and they don't want to take that back, even if in that world they could have been more comfortable like Rika is in this world.
俺は死ぬまで反省していかなきゃならないと思う。でもあの事件をきっかけにレナが言うように俺もたくさんの大切なことを学んだ。過去のあの事件をなかったことにできる世界があったらってのは確かに魅力的ではあるかもしれない。でも俺はそんなことを思いはしないぜ。今日という日の前原圭一を積み上げてきた大切な礎の一つだと思ってる。
それを言ったら私もですわ。甘ったれてた以前の私だったらニーニーがいる限りずっと甘え続けていましたもの。ニーニーがいなくならない世界があったらというのは確かに魅力的なお誘いではありますけど。
Even Sadako, wow, if anybody, like, you think Sadako would be the one who would most want that world with her brother.
でも甘ったれた私がニーニーと一緒にいても何の意味もないんですもの。 なら私はこ
Wow.
の世界の方がいいですわ。
That's why I love these guys, man. As like as much as I like the characters in Umineko, I really love all these little goobers so much.
今の自分なら胸を張ってニーニーの帰りを待てますもの。本当にみんなそう思うのですか？罪は消せないとあれだけ悩み苦しんだのに、その罪がないことになっている綺麗な世界を選べる選択肢を自ら拒否するというのですか？うん、レナはこっちの世界の方が尊いと思うよ。どうしてですか？だってこの世界の今日という未来は全員で勝ち取ったんだもん。その世界のみんなはただダラダラ生きてるだけでしょ？ダラダラと。それでいて罪なく生きることは罪なのでしょうか？罪じゃないよ。でもこちらの方が尊い。温室で育った苦労知らずの花も美しいと思う。でも風雨や暑さ寒さに耐えて花を咲かせた野花には美しさだけじゃないものが宿るんじゃないかな。レナはそういうものの大切さを言ってるだけ。傷だらけの野花に何を恥じることがあるの？でも温室で育つのと野原で育つのを選べと言われたら。あ、わかった。そこがそもそもリカちゃんの間違いなんだね。だってレナたちは野に芽生えた野花だもの。花を咲かせた後にありえなかった未来を想像してそれと比べるのは何の意味もないことだよ。リカちゃんの話は花より上の人ならざる存在の目線での話だもん。
Rena's just such a, like, philosopher. She's so wise beyond her years.
その二つの世界のどちらが幸せか、それを論じることができるのは二つの世界を行き来できる神様だけ。でもリカちゃんという人間は一つの世界にしか存在しない。そうじゃない。どちらの世界にもいるけど行き来はできない。野花のリカちゃんも温室のリカちゃんもどちらも存在する。そしてどちらもその世界の運命に従い胸を張って生きていると思うよ。その時野花が温室で育ったなら何も苦労がなかっただろうになんていう時点でそれはもうおかしいことなの。根付き芽生えた場所で精一杯育って精一杯の花を咲かせる。もしも自分が大金持ちの家に生まれてたらなーなんて負け犬の寝言もいいところですわよ。
Hey, come on now. I was just like, really? Not saying super rich, but I've had thoughts be like, be nice to be able to maybe not be born into a super rich family, but be nice to win the lottery and be comfortable. What's wrong with wanting to be comfortable? And not have too many trials and tribulations in your life. Like, yes, they can make you grow as a person, but I'm like, what's wrong with also just wanting to be comfortable and not have to stress about stuff?
そんな妄想する暇があったらまずは安いスーパーを探して小銭を倹約する努力を始めなさいませですわ。
I feel like I'm being read to filth by Sadako right now.
そうだな。そうして自分に胸を張るサトコは、仮にサトコが大金持ちの世界があったとして、そこのサトコと比べたとしても、何も劣っているということはないと思うぞ。
And again, seeing the Sadako and the Mion in that world is just like, yeah, sometimes trials and hardships can make you a better person. I get it. I get it.
まあ確かに選べるなら大金
Right?
持ちの方がいい
Thank
で
you.
ございますけれども。
Sadako, you're all over the place.
リカちゃんはこうしてこっち側の世界で目が覚めてもまだ迷っているんじゃないかな。本当にこっちでよかったのか向こうでもよかったんじゃないかなって未練があるんじゃないかな。
Those words were probably the root of this cheerless feeling. I love this world, but I couldn't help but be troubled given the depth of my own sin, of abandoning that world and insisting everyone else be sinners. Shouldn't I have chosen that world for the sake of everyone I loved? They've unanimously decided this world was better, but in a way it was just acceptance, since they hadn't been granted the choice of selecting one of the two. That was why everyone thought positively and went with this world. If they could have actually chosen, they would be conflicted too.
やっぱりね。だから、リカちゃんはその、胸の奥にある悲しみが癒せないんだね。
And yet, only Rena seemed to have figured everything out.
そうだ。リカちゃんにもわかるように、ゲームで説明してあげるね。ねえ、みーちゃん。今日、飴玉持ってきてなかった？
あるけど？
What was she going to do? Then Rena grabbed it with both her hands and stuck them out toward me.
さあ、リカちゃんにプレゼントだよ。どっちの手の中身がいいかな？かな？
Can I choose?
外れると罰ゲームになったりはしないのですか？ほう、そんなのないよ。安心して選んで。
Even considering how we usually did club games, there really were no hints at all. I looked at the size of Rena's fist, but I couldn't begin to guess which had the candy. Is it a whole thing about, like, when you make your choice, you don't know what the other choice is? Do you regret it? Is that what she's getting at? Oh, whatever. Time to test my luck.
では、こっちのグーを選びますのです。こっちね。はい。
Rena opened her fist and revealed candy. Maybe both the hands had candy in them. I must have made the right choice.
おめでとう。はい。あーんして。あーんなのです。おいしい？
It was the standard but nostalgic taste of strawberry milk. As it shrunk, as I rolled it around in my mouth and sucked on it, I couldn't help but give a smile.
おいしいのですよ。ピパーン。嬉しい？じゃあ、リカちゃんの世界は幸せだね。二択の勝負に勝ったので、とても嬉しいのです。勝利の美酒は美味しいのですよ。ねえ、リカちゃん、どうして勝利なの？
Rena showed me her other palm, the one I didn't choose. In her hand, she was holding 2 pieces of candy. Ah, there we go. So it's just like, as long as you don't know what the other choice is and you're happy, don't think about what could have been. In other words, the one I chose was wrong. So it's all about the way you see it. At that moment, and this was really obvious, but I immediately realized how merry I had been
今
feeling.
のその気持ちが、リカちゃんの気持ちの正体に近いんじゃない？異なる世界と比べるという時点で、それが人の身には過ぎたことなんだよ。それを比べ悩むのは神様の仕事。レナたちの仕事じゃない。与えられる世界は常に一つで、その世界で幸せを見つけるようにできてるの。リカちゃんはその夢の中では二つの世界を行き来できる神様だから、そういう気持ちになってしまう。だからね、反対の手の中なんて気にしちゃダメなの。
I was a witch who had lived 100 years in countless worlds. That was exactly why I'd always believed I was special, someone who had overcome millions of choices to gain happiness. That I was able to gain happiness, that I was sure to. But I had it completely backwards. I wasn't any better than anyone else. When it came to finding happiness, I was the worst of them all. Then I remembered how Hanyu had so curtly and quickly told me the other world was a dream. It wasn't a dream, but now that I'd chosen, this was reality, and that really was nothing more than a dream. When a cat is in a box, you can imagine 2 futures, one where it's alive and one where it's dead. There's the cat box. But when you open it, there's only one future. The other future at that moment becomes no more than a dream. The one who opens it and accepts the future inside and lives. Worrying about which of the 2 futures in the box was better was a job for those who weren't human, those who could interfere with the contents. As a mere human being, I had awkwardly trodden in the world of the gods, which was why I misunderstood some important things, wasn't it? In that world, Hanyu had regrets. She regretted having used the power of the gods to interfere with my life. And now I finally understood why. She was quite clear about it. She clearly said people had to live the best they could in their world. I had to stop being this witch. Yes, I knew now I was not the witch named Burncastel, but Rika Furude. My copy had lived for 100 years, bending fate to her whim, and maybe she still exists in some higher dimension than this human world. But that was no longer who I was. I was Rika Furude, In this world, I would live, and in this world, I would seize happiness. I mustn't use that power ever again, which meant I had to make sure not to treat my own life without respect from now on, which meant...
交通事故には気をつけよう。
that's that's all of this. All of this was just to teach Rika to be careful in traffic, wear a helmet.
はあ
And she's like, that's the takeaway?
そうだな。
そうだよ。もう二度と自転車に乗ってるときはふざけちゃダメだよ。そうね。まったくその通りだわ。そんな当たり前のことも理解してないお子様が魔女気取りなんだもん。そりゃ、全然ダメなわけだわ。
皆さん、とりあえず今日はこのくらいにしてください。リカさんもだいぶ体力が衰えているはずです。もちろん明日以降も面会できますので、今日はこれくらいで休ませてあげましょう。
I'm still waiting for something freaky to happen at the end. This all feels too nice. This was supposed to be, maybe that world was like the most horrible world, but like I'm still waiting for like right at the last moment something horrible to happen. Coach appeared and clapped his hands together, but my friends weren't finished saying goodbye just yet.
リカ、もう大丈夫ですか？ありがとう。口下手のあんたに代わって、レナが全部説明してくれたわ。もう大丈夫。リカが次に命を落とすとき、
Will that be the last one?
僕はその
Okay.
受け入れようと思います。
Oh my gosh, what if she walked out of the hospital and just immediately got like killed by something? Like all this, and then just like she's dead, and that's it.
そうね。私もそれでいいんじゃないかと思うわ。車道でふざけてるお子様が跳ねられる事故なんて日本中で毎日起こってる。それがひなみ沢でも起きたってだけのことよ。悔しかったら私も今度から赤信号は渡らないようにしなきゃ。でもあんたはそれでいいの？私がいないと寂しくなるって、かつてあれだけダダをこねていたのに。もう大丈夫ですよ。新しい友人ができましたのですから。へえ、誰よ？紹介してよ。教えませんのです。
Is that somebody from the previous world?
ということは、私はつまりフルでリカなのね。リカがそう思うなら、そうなのです。
Or is she saying like Bernkastel was the friend that she made when she decided to become the witch Bernkastel?
ありがとう。何に対してのありがとうですか？いろいろよ。
After Irie admonished everyone, they all glumly got ready to go home. Hanyu too was about to disappear, but I clapped my fist into my hand, as if remembering something, and spoke to her.
ねえ、ハニュー。何ですか？私、向こうの世界であんたに、元の世界に戻れたら、冷蔵庫をシュークリームでいっぱいにしてやるって約束したんだけど、あれって、夢だからチャラなのよね。
Oh my god, Rika. You're horrible.
せめてもの仕返しよ。
I guess I was just Rika being like, you have to admit that that wasn't a dream, or else I don't have to fulfill that. I love that.
リカ、明日のお見舞いに何か持ってきますわ。何か食べたいものはございますの？
Cream puffs.
確かリカちゃん辛いのが好きだったよね。ゴグラのデパートで韓国食材フェアとかやってなかったっけ？激辛キムチとか売ってなかったかな？
甘いのが食べたいです。甘いの？うん。どんなのがいい？
じゃあ ショートケーキとかみんなで買ってくるか。エンジェルモートのは特にうまいんだよな。
ならエンジェルモートのシュークリームにしましょうです。安くてもいいからお腹いっぱい食べたいのですよ。
食べる元気が出てきたのはいいことです。何でもよく食べて元の元気を取り戻していきましょう。では皆さん、面会時間はこれで終わりです。
Everyone began to leave. Hanyu too.
これで貸し借りはなしね。僕は何も貸してませんのですよ。そうね、あれは夢だもんね。おやすみです、リカ。良い夢を。
Is that the end? I'm waiting for maybe something else to happen right at the end. Good night, Rika Furude, and please treat the future you won with care. This was all just, like I said, this was all just a safety PSA. Thank you. Oh, right. After I get out, the first thing I'll do is go visit my parents' grave. I realized something just now. Why I had to kill my mother to return to this world. The fragment coming out when I killed her, or whatever, wasn't the problem. Choosing a world in which my mother wasn't here was already killing her. Until now, I'd chosen this world without feeling any sorrow for it. For killing my mother every time. That was what you wanted me to realize, wasn't it? The sins you feel in me. That's probably one of them. I'd stopped respecting my parents. And I finally realized let's try that again. I finally realized that in the other world. Rika, thank you for realizing. I feel as though the most important sin I felt from you has been cleansed. It'll be okay, Rika. Your hands are not stained with your mother's blood. That was all something I showed you, because I wanted to be mean to you for a little. Oh, all just a dream. May you forget all of it when you awaken from your slumber. Good night, Rika. Sleep deep, sleep deep. As I dream of how you will color your life in the future. Okay. That's an interesting ending. I thought that it was going to go real dark at the end, but no, it actually resolved itself pretty well, and Rika did learn some things. That was quite sweet. Okay, well, I mean, that ended quicker than I was expecting. I didn't know how much time was left. I knew I was probably going to be able to finish it this episode, but I didn't think it was going to be so short, that there was going to be so little of it left. So I was going to leave the next chapter for the next video, but let's go ahead and give it a start. Okay, and I have heard people in the comments have been talking about, apparently one of these is, like, almost like a BL one with Keiichi and Satoshi. I'm guessing it's this one, because it's talking about how it was meant as an after party, and, you know, only if you were truly degenerate. So I'm guessing it's that one. So this one, Hirukowashi. This one is also something about love, though. I'm wondering if it could be this one. Either way, let's start this one. Alright, the console version of Hirukowashi is significantly different from the original PC version. It is almost a whole new arc. Which version would you like to play? Ooh. Well, I guess we'll go with the alternate console version. If anything, I could always just play both if you guys want me to play both of them. They did say it was quite different, so let me know in the comments if that is something that's worth playing both versions of. Wait, what? Wait, what? What is... What? Okay. Interesting. I forgot that Higurashi has openings sometimes. Why are they so chibi looking? Very cute. Wait, who's that girl? Wait, what? What? There's a girl there who I didn't recognize with, like, green hair? What is this? Oh my gosh. It's like a Higurashi fighting game. What the hell? I know, like, Umineko has one. Oh my gosh, it is too, but they all look adorable while they're trying to kill each other. Okay. Hey, but it's my boy, Akasaka. I mean, if you're gonna be picking a character for a fighting game, I feel like he'd be a little bit OP. I am confused and intrigued at the same time. This definitely seems like this is going to be a more kind of fun, like, just off the wall, weird episode.
そのご機嫌具合から見て、例のダム現場にまた新しいゴミ山でもできたんだろう。
そうなの。新しい山には何が埋まってるのかな。かわいいお宝の予感。帰ったらね、すぐに宝探しに行くんだよ。ケイチ君も一緒に来ないかな。
俺か？ミオンに借りた漫画、まだ全巻読み終わってないんだよな。
女の子が誘ってるのに、ケイチ君は漫画を選ぶんだね。はお。今日の部活で助け舟を出してあげたのに、そのご恩返しがこれなんだね。
嘘です。ごめんなさい。宝探し万歳です。ぜひレナさんの旅に同行させてくださいませ。
Club activities today could be summed up as heartless. Every man for himself, anyone showing weakness was crushed and dropped into last place. I would gladly romp people at an advantage and be romped when the roles were reversed, but today luck just wasn't in my favor, and the deciding match completely backfired on me. That was when Rena had given me a little help.
でも結果的にビリだったね。
What a tease! What a tease! They're talking about these club activities that we don't get to see. And then in the last episode, they were hinted at that maybe, like, the club was going to be formed, but I didn't get to see anything.
罰ゲーム、今度の日曜日が楽しみかな。
レナにあれだけ助けてもらってこのざまとは不甲斐ないぜ。
In the end, I couldn't put Rena's help to good use, and that locked me in last place. But it was definitely thanks to her I could even try going that big, deciding match to turn things around. If she hadn't helped me out, I would have lost even worse, without even having that opportunity. Rena didn't have any responsibility to try and rescue me. Normally, you decide that if you couldn't hope for first, you could at least avoid last. She left me alone, it would have assured my last place finish. She wouldn't gain anything from saving me aside from risk to herself, would she? And yet, she helped me anyway. That fragment of kindness in the world of our cold, heartless club was sublime, as though the Buddha's nimbus had reached me in hell. The one rule of our club was to fight without pity or mercy. But even amidst that, Rena was the one who always held on to her kindness. She wanted everyone to have a good time playing games.
買いかぶりすぎだよ。レナはワンサイドゲームって嫌いなだけ。だってどう戦っても逆転がないって分かったら誰だってふてくされちゃうもん。
まあな、罰ゲームは俺に確定だってんで、決着を待たずに服の採寸までされてたからな。ああ、くそ。一体何の服の採寸なんだろうな。とほほほほ。
I mean, Keiichi should be used to that. The weird clothes seem to be a staple with punishment games.
どんな逆境からでもいつだって逆転はできると思うの。そういう世界じゃないといけない。だからね、レナはどうしても困ってる人にチャンスを与えずにはいられないの。
レナは本当に優しいんだな。なんて話を聞かされると、レナが弱り目の時容赦なく叩いてきた俺に両親の呵責が。
レナが好きでやってるんだから、ケイチ君までそうしてなんて言わないよ。でもレナがピンチになった時は貸しを返してくれると嬉しいかな。
おう、今日のは仮にしとくぜ。まあそれとは別でだ。たまにはレナの宝探しに付き合ってやるぜ。じゃあダム現場のゴミ山に集合でいいな。
ダム現場の宝の山に集合ね。
After answering with a wide smile, Rena ran off, waving her arm. All right, well, it's good to see that this is the world, I guess, where everybody's getting along, because Shion is, you know, living happily. Well, I don't think they're living together, but I mean, she's coexisting with Sadako well.
あとトイレットペーパーの6個セットが今日なら8円もお得で、お風呂洗剤が試供品のおまけ付き。夕方前ならスタンプも2倍って言ってませんでしたか？もう人手が欲しいって言うからわざわざ来てあげたって言うのに。
一体どうしたのでございますか、リカ。早くお買い物に行きませんとシオンさんを待たせてしまいますわよ。大変なのです。さとこ、これを見てくださいなのです。あら、どうかしましたの？航路の足が欠けておりますわね。
Maybe it deteriorated over time from continued use, and that's why it broke off.
だいぶくたびれた感じですし、まあこの程度なら簡単に直せる道具がいろいろございますから、ご安心なさいませ。
Do we have any more of that wood glue? Last time we bought some was when we needed to fix that chest of drawers.
そうじゃないのです。この航路は200年前に僕のご先祖様があるものを封印した時にお供えしたものなのです。そしてこれが壊れたということは封印が解けてしまったということなのです。なんだかたかがボロっちい航路が壊れただけで随分大げさな話でございますが、それが何かすごくまずいことでもありますの？この古文書によると、使い道を誤るとものすごい惨劇になってしまうかもしれない危険なもののようなのです。理科のご先祖様がわざわざ封印するくらいなんですから、なんだかヤバそうな話に聞こえますわね。それで惨劇の規模はどのくらいなのでございますか？それもこの古文書に書いてありますのです。ちょっと読みにくい漢字ばかりですが、さとこ、読めますですか？何々？ふわらずのまがたまの際か？例年より訪れの早き夏？門外不出の門外不出の至宝、ふわらずのまがたまが人海へこぼれ出し、恐ろしき最悪を招いたり。古文書にはそう書かれてありますのです。そして当時は随分怪我人が出たと書かれてありますのです。ふわらずのまがたまは鬼神の残したる地獄の司法なり、人里に現れることあれば地獄より鬼たちが現れ、人々に取り付き、阿鼻教官の地獄絵図となるものなり。
And Hinimizawa just can't catch a break in any world, can it? Either it's submerged or there's like a illness going around, or this happens potentially.
ということはつまりとんでもない事件が起こってしまうかもなのですよ。よくわかりませんが、なんだかまずい感じですわね。地獄絵図といえば、この前かぼちゃ弁当を持ってきてくださったシオンさんはまさに地獄の鬼そのものでしたわ。しかもその後ほんの少し残しただけで、その座引け特製のこちょこちょマシンの件なんて今思い出しても。
Oh, Sadako, if only you knew the other worlds where Shion definitely did so much worse torturing.
見ている側としてはなかなかに眼福だったのですよ、ミパー。それはともかく正しく使えば素晴らしい力があるのですが、使い方を誤ると大変なことになってしまうとのことなのです。あまりに危険なので、僕のご先祖様は人の世から遠ざけるため遠いお空の向こうの世界に封印していたらしいのですが。で、その封印が解けたとなるとどうなるのでございますか？お空の上に封印したのが解けてしまいますので、そのまま村のどこかへ落下してくるということでございますか？
Well, I'm guessing based on the opening kind cutscene that we got, and also the fact that Rena and uh, Heichi are going to the dump, that is probably where it's going to be found.
でも正しく使えば素晴らしい力もあるとおっしゃいませんでしたか？それ次第では封印する前に少し遊んでみるのもいいかもしれませんわね。とにかく早く見つけましょうなのです。誰か他の人が拾ってもし悪い使い道に気づいてしまったら大変かもなのです。こういう時に限って一番拾ってもらいたくない方に渡ったりするのがお約束ですわね。とはいえ仮にもこのフルデ神社の宝におかしな方の手垢をつけさせるわけにはいきませんわ。
We saw Takano in the opening too, so does she like what world is this? Is this the world where Takano's still just chilling in the village? Is she still trying to kill Rika? What's going on?
Takara 探しってね、2つ楽しいことがあると思うの。一つはもちろん可愛い宝物を見つけられた時だけど、もう一つはわかる？
汗だくになっても何も見つからなくて、人生と時間の大切さに気づき、我に返る時か？
They say you don't get tired when you're having fun, but where in that slender body was Rena storing all this horsepower? Rummaging through an oversized garbage heap was exhausting in and of itself. It didn't take long for me to pull out a picnic blanket, spread it on a decommissioned vehicle's roof, and sprawl out on it.
違う。どんな可愛いものに出会えるかなってこうして探してる時が一番楽しいんだよ。だからね、もし何も見つからなくてもそれはとっても楽しかったことなんだよ。
まあ俺もつまらなくはなかったけどな。おかげでレナが持ってきてくれたこの水筒の麦茶が美味しいぜ。これは明らかに我が家の麦茶よりうまいよな。なんていうのかな、香ばしさが違うというか。
普通の市販のだよ。やかんにパックを入れて煮出すだけ。
ああ、煮出すってのが秘密だな。多分うちのは冷水に放り込んで冷蔵庫に入れるだけだよ。やっぱ火が入らないと味ってのは出ないんだな。
あ、そうだそうだ、忘れてた。
Rena pounded her fist, then put her treasure hunting aside for a moment and came over to me. Then she brought over a bag and took something out before unwrapping it. Why, how considerate. They're cookies. Their lack of uniformity meant that they had to be homemade.
これレナの手作りなのか？いただきまーす。うまいうまい。
昨日作った残りなの。ほとんどお父さんが食べちゃったからあんまり残ってなかった。レナもあんまり食べてないのに。
そうかそうか。じゃあ俺だけが食べちゃ悪いな。半分だけ食うぜ。レナも食えよ。会心の出来だぜ。この味、舌触り格別じゃのう。
レナはいいからケイチくんが全部食べちゃっていいよ。そんな嬉しそうな顔で食べてくれたら作ったレナもクッキーもすごく嬉しいもの。
そうか？ならいただくぜ。容赦なくな。殺せる。このクッキー1枚のためになら俺は人が殺せるぜ。
Foreshadowing.
例えはひどいけど嬉しいかな。
This fun moment sitting together, going with Rena on a treasure hunt was the right choice. If I only ended up shutting myself up in my room with Mion's comics, it would have been rude to the day itself. Scarlet began to creep into the sky. Flocks of birds started flying past. Maybe they were going back to their nests. Rena had already put away the cookie wrappers. It looked like it was time to go.
今日の戦果はどうだったよ？
明日以降に期待かな。
I'm guessing they're gonna find that thing like right as they're about to leave.
この山はまだまだ深いよ。きっと何かが出てくる。レナには匂いでわかるの。
レナがそう信じてるならきっと何か出てくるだろう。くじけるな。金が出るか温泉が出るか楽しみにしてるぜ。
明日も宝探ししたらケイチくんも来てくれる？
ん？俺か？そうだな。またレナの手作りクッキーが食べられるなら考えてもいいぜ。
クッキーの準備がないから明日は無理。クッキー作ってないとダメ？
そんなうるうるな瞳でみんな。わかったよ。手伝うから。そんな哀れみを誘う瞳でみんな。俺のガラスの両親が痛む。
ケイチくんの明日のお手伝い。ケイチくんと一緒なら、何も出てこなくても楽しいよ。
Rena usually went treasure hunting alone, but she probably also had fun doing it with friends once in a while. She gave me a fresh, invigorating smile, the kind she didn't usually show anyone during club games. After that, we decided to clean up, pack up, and leave. No? Okay, maybe not. Oh. And the moment we went up the embankment, there was a sudden, dazzling flash. I was thinking like, oh, maybe they will find it today, but I guess not. But that's going to be Tomatake, which means Takono's probably with him. I haven't seen him in a while.
君たちの至福の映画をいただくさ。
富武さんだ。それに高野さんも。
Of course, right?
こんにちは。
Where one is, usually the other one is too. Haven't seen her in a while either.
こんにちは。二郎さんもデリカシーのない人よね。レナちゃんたちのデートに水を差すなんて。
デートなんかじゃないっすよ。デートじゃない、デートじゃない。そうだよな、レナ。
こんな人気のないところに男女が二人で将来を語り合っててもかい？いやいや、いいんだいいんだ。そういう出会いを重ねながら二人の絆を強めていくんだよ。ねえ、高野さん。
最初の頃の二郎さんのあれこれ苦しい理由をつけては私を誘おうとするのがとっても面白かったわ。中でも傑作だった口実があれね。
またあれは僕の勘違いで、
Hey, it's like you can't have Tomatake. It's like you can't have him tease them and not expect to get it back. Takano-san ran off giggling, and Tomatake-san chased after her. From afar, they looked like they had to be a great couple.
あの二人は一見ちぐはぐに見えてすっごく仲良しだよね。
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anybody kills the other person this time.
そうだな。お互いのキャラクターが正反対ゆえに、パズルのピースのデコとボコみたいにバチッと相性があったのかもしれないな。
デコとボコがバチッと。どういう意味かな？
違う。そんな変な意味で言ったんじゃない。赤くなるな。そこで赤くなられると非常に気まずい。
デコとボコ、デコボコ。
Oh no, Rena's completely broken. The only way to solve this is her usual method, punching me out cold. Alright, Rena, I'm prepared. Give me your usual lightning-fast punch and KO me in an instant. Keiichi's into this. But then something flew towards Rena and clunked her in the head. What was that? Rena suddenly choked up and fell to her knees, coughing over and over in a way that clearly wasn't normal.
おい、どうしたよ。大丈夫か、レナ。
I rubbed Rena's back as she coughed. What the heck just happened?
どうしたんだい？大丈夫かい、レナちゃん。
しっかり呼吸はできる？
今、お二人が何か投げて、レナにぶつけませんでした？
は？何の話だい？
I definitely saw it. Something came flying and hit Rena in the head. That's gotta be that thing. It can fly around, maybe? I was sure it was something Tomatake-san or Takano-san had thrown, but they wouldn't do something so mean, would they? Well, Tomatake-san, no. Takano-san, press X to doubt. Then what was it? Are you telling me whatever it was fell from the heavens or something?
大丈夫かよ、レナ。ハンカチ使うか？
ありがとう。
唾が気道に入ってむせちゃったの。落ち着いた？
空を見上げながらふざけてたら急に 何かが口の中に飛び込んできて飲み込んじゃって。
飲み込んだ？何を飲み込んじまったんだ？お腹とか痛くないか？
痛くはないけど違和感があって変。
なんだろう。昆虫が飛び込んできて偶然飲み込んじゃったのかな。
気になるようだったら吐かせた方がいいわね。向こうの事務所跡に確か使える蛇口があったはずよ。水をたくさん飲んで指で喉の奥を刺激して吐き出すの。
Could not do it. Nope. I'm just like, unless it's literally gonna kill me, I can't do it. Nope. I'll just deal with it.
そうした方がいいな。レナ、肩を貸すから行こ
あれ？すっきりしちゃった。
う。どうしたよ？
お腹の中のコロコロした感じがね、スーッと消えちゃった。もうなんともないよ。
本当になんともないのかい？大丈夫かな。
どうしても気になるんだったらレントゲン取って胃の洗浄をした方がいいかもしれないわね。本当にもうなんともないの？
はい。
That's pretty sad that this small town has better healthcare than a lot of places. Like, oh, that must be nice to just be able to get an X-ray done immediately. Guess it helps to know people.
自分でも不思議です。ケロッと治っちゃいました。
そうなのか？念のため診療所に行って監督に見てもらった方がいいんじゃないのか？
ありがとう。明日になっても具合が悪かったらそうするね。でも今日のところはもう全然平気。みんな心配してくれてありがとう。
The person concerned said it was nothing, so there's no point in prying any further. We said farewell to Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Then I walked Rena back to her house. At first, I was worried about Rena suddenly growing worse, but as I listened to her go on and on about how fun today's treasure hunt was, my worries drifted away, and we got to talking about going hunting again tomorrow.
じゃあね、ケイチくん。お見送りまでしてくれてありがとう。もし明日の部活が早く終わったら、また一緒に宝探しに行こうね。
おう、今日は美味しいクッキーと麦茶をありがとうな。
手作りじゃないけど、明日も何かお茶受けを持っていくね。乞うご期待。
おう、楽しみにしてるぜ。
Rena's mood seemed so good she was fit to burst. As I watched her, I completely forgot about the fuss over the foreign object earlier. So did she swallow the thing so it's inside of her, or is it something else? I don't know.
もうすっかり暗くなってしまいましたわね。リカ、これ以上は明日にしませんか？村の大人の方に見られては、こんな時間に子供がこんなところで遊ぶなんて危ないってうちに返されてしまいますわ。まあ、リカと一緒なら叱られたりするようなことはないかもしれませんでしょうけど。ダメなのです。一刻も早く見つけないと、とても悪い予感がするのですよ。
Because she said something like, it can be really good, it can do really good things, so maybe if Rena swallowed it, it's making her feel good? Maybe it's a situation like the fragment in Rika's mom, where it's like, now it's in Rena? I don't know. It's a weird one so far. I think this is just going to be like a weird out there one. I mean, going based on the opening, cutscene, this definitely is not going to be very serious.
封印された宝の波動を感じますのです。間違いなくこの近くなのです。そのリカの持ってきた容器探知機ですか？その精度がもう少し高ければ役に立つのでしょうけど。
Rika and Sadako ghost hunters.
なんだかその名の通り怪しい形ですわね。
In fact, no matter how you look at it, it just looks like a directional magnet.
それにしてもさっきから村のあちこちを行ったり来たりで疲れましたわ。シオンさんには気の毒なことをしてしまいましたし、そろそろ眠くなってきましたわ。さとこは 不わらずの勾玉の恐ろしい力を知らないから、小のんきに構えていられるのです。その恐ろしさを知れば、僕がどうしてこんなに慌てているのかが分かってもらえると思うのですが。縁結びの勾玉でございましょう。紅白一組の勾玉を意中の人と持ち合う。
Okay, now we're actually seeing what it does. It was implied at the beginning they said something about that, but
素敵じゃありませんの。だからこそ危険なのです。それをめぐって村中の若者が血みどろの争いを繰り広げてしまうかもしれませんのです。一人の乙女をめぐって男たちが殺し合いをしたという話も古文書には書いてありましたのですよ。そこまで思いの強い方なら、もっと別の努力をした方がうまくいきそうなものでしょうけど。
that's why Rika was saying it could be something very nice and pleasant, but it could also be something terrible, depending on who gets their hands on it.
ま、確かに道端に転がっていていいものではありませんわね。あ、そうそう。せっかくだから、私とリカで取り返して、その天にお返しする前に、ちょっと遊ばせてもらうってのも悪くはありませんわね。はあ。それもいいかもしれませんですが、まずは探し当ててからなのです。近づいているのです。近づいているのです。みみ。
Sadako turned towards something glimmering on the dark night road. It looked almost like luminous paint, and for a few moments the light shone weakly.
あれでございますか?
I pointed my flashlight at it and saw a small open box on its side. Though small, it had an intricate design convincing me it would make sense if it held the Furude Shrine's treasure. But the outside didn't matter. What mattered was the inside.
空箱ですわね。なるほど。このくぼみに紅白2つの勾玉が収められていたというわけでございますか。
On the inside, it was made like a jewel box, empty save for the two depressions and the magatama probably fit into.
この近くに落ちているのかもしれませんのです。もうちょっと探してみましょうなのです。理科の陽気探知機で探し出すことはできませんの？こんな暗闇で落ちている勾玉を探すなんて、私たちにはとても無理でございますわ。それが、陽気発信機は箱の方に取り付けられているらしいので、箱の中に入ってないと探せないのですよ。
According to Rika, a stronger radar would apparently be able to detect the magatama. Am I saying that right? Magatama themselves, but that one was tucked away deep in the recesses of the ritual storehouse and would have been troublesome to retrieve, so they left it behind. What a waste. Although a transmitter and ancient treasure-finding radar sound like weird objects, but no matter how you look at it, it seems like a directional magnet. Well, the only person who comes by this way would be Rena, right? And she may or may not have swallowed one of them already. So it's just like, just go back tomorrow, get there before Rena does, and find them. Two of them swung their flashlights about, but even if it had been daytime, it was hard to believe they'd be able to find anything in all this gravel and weeds. What's worse, the magatama was probably only the size of candies, judging by the size of the depressions in the box.
多分、空から落っこちてきたとき、地面にぶつかった拍子に中身が飛び出してしまったのかもしれませんわね。しかも、よりによってゴミ山の近くで、この斜面を転がってあの中に混じった日には、無理ですわね。探せっこありませんわ。
Just then, an idea flashed through Rika's mind. That may be the case for normal people, but what about Rena, Lord of the Trash Piles? The red and white jewels were called magatamas, but the pictures of them in the scroll looked more like key rings with seals on them. To be frank, Rena's fingers would be itching for these. After explaining as much to Sadako, she nodded in agreement.
そういえば、レナさんは今日ゴミ山に寄っていくとかおっしゃっておりましたわね。新しいゴミ山ができていたから宝探しに行きたいとか言って。レナが拾ってしまいましたのでしょうか。そこまではわかりませんわ。明日学校で聞いてみてはいかがです？
You think she would have taken the box if she had found it, though, right?
さすがにこの時間にお電話を差し上げるのは失礼でしょうし。 リカ、とにかく今日は引き返しましょう。これ以上暗くなると夜道も危険ですわ。それに例の巻物をもう少し詳しく読めば何かヒントが見つかるかもしれませんでしたよ。仕方ないのです。
Good grief, this is one troublesome magic item that made its way into Hinimizawa. Wait, could there really be a treasure with an effect like that? Despite how serious Rika was about it, Sadako herself hadn't seen it with her own eyes, so she was still skeptical.
ああ、ほんとやれやれですわ。
Today, our normally fun self-study time was somehow lacking in excitement. This was because Rena had been acting strange since this morning.
さっきから調子悪そうだね。今日は体調悪いの？
体調悪くないよ。
Like she's being, like, possessed by the thing or something. Or maybe she has to, like, she's got to try and find the other one if she did swallow the first Magatama.
またため息をついていますわね。ため息を一つつくたびに幸せが逃げてっちゃいますのよ。幸せ。
And she's like a zombie. It wasn't this bad when we first got to school. Was she sick after all? She'd been kind of dazed all morning, like she was running a slight fever.
保健室で風邪薬でももらう？最近昼夜の温度差が激しいからね。
いい。今日はレナは放っておいてくれないかな。
Rena said only that, her tone lethargic, before leaving our circle and going back to her seat. Then she rested her chin on her hand, stared out the window, and sighed again.
ふんふん。おじさんの見たところ、あれは恋だね。
恋ですって？それはおめでたいことでございますわね。
へえ、レナさんもなかなかやりますね。ヒューヒュー。というかシオン、あんた学校はどうしたのさ。いくら実習中でも勝手に入ってきちゃダメじゃないの。まあ細かいことは気にしない。それはともかく。
I love that. She's like, don't ask why I'm here. We're just gonna glaze over that.
心ここにあらずで、一日中思い人のことでいっぱいって感じですよ。頬杖をついてため息なんて恋する乙女そのものじゃないですか。
そうなのか？俺には昨日飲み込んじまった妙なもんのせいで体調を崩してるようにしか見えないんだがな。
妙なものって何ですの？
昨日さ、宝探しに行った先でさ、何なんだろうな、何か降ってきたみたいなんだよ。そいつがスポンと口の中に飛び込んじまって、それを飲み込んじゃったらしいんだよ。
天から降ってきた？ならきっとそれはキューピッドの恋の矢だね。
天から降ってきた？
As we were focused on our Rena discussion, Rika-chan, who'd secretly planted a frog toy in Sadako's seat, pricked up her cat-like ears and turned around. Those are just human ears viewed from the side, right? I must be seeing things.
ケイチ、レナがどうしたのですか？
いやな、昨日ダム現場に新しいゴミ山ができたとかで宝探しに出かけたんだよ。で、いつものようにバカ騒ぎして大口開けて空を見上げて笑ってたら、そこに何かが落ちてきてきれいに口の中に飛び込んで思わず飲み込んじまったってんだよ。
天から落ちてきたものが口の中に飲み込んだ？お聞きになりましたか、リカ？ってあなた私の席に何をしようとしてるのでございますか？
Rika's like, we don't have time to worry about that right now.
ニパー
Exactly.
それは後回しなのです。大変なのです。
Upon hearing that panicked shout, I turned around. As Rena breathed another sigh, her expression absent-minded, I could see Rika-chan slowly approaching her. For some reason, she had a fancy-looking directional magnet in hand, and then after gazing at her for a while, I could see a rare look of shock in her eyes. These two back-to-back have just been Rika finding something that she needs in somebody, and being like, ah, fuck. Then she and Sadako darted off to the corner of the classroom. What's going on?
なんで声をお出しになるのですか。ってことはまさかレナの中にマガタマの気配があるのです。マガタマの力がレナに宿ってしまったのです。あら、それなら話は早いですわね。通りすがりにローブローでも叩き込んでみますか。反撃で殺されますわね。なら下剤でも飲ませてみます。リカがやってくださいませ。そんな簡単な問題じゃないのです。昨日読んだ古文書によると、マガタマが体内に飲み込まれると溶けてしまうとありましたのです。マガタマはレナに食べられたことで形の意味を失い、その力をレナに宿らせてしまったのですよ。
Does that mean, like, will everybody fall in love with Rena or whoever has the other Magamata? What does this mean?
つまり何ですの。あのマガタマは服用可能で飲んだら消化吸収できるってことでございますか。どうしたらよろしいのですか。リカのご先祖様が長年封印していたアイテムでございましょう。なんとかなりませんの。もちろんなんとかはできますのです。紅白のマガタマを揃え、お社様の神域、つまりフルデ神社の境内でカイジのおまじないをすればちゃんと解けますのです。なら簡単ですわ。帰りにレナさんを神社に連行して一丁上がりですわ。ところがレナが飲み込んだのは赤のマガタマだけなのです。白のマガタマが一緒になければ解除はできないのです。このままだとレナは白のマガタマを拾った人を無差別に好きになってしまうのです。レナに赤のマガタマの効果が現れているということは、誰かが白のマガタマを拾ったということなのです。
I love this. It's already begun. We have to find out who's the one who fell in love with her. All right, guys. For those of you who maybe have not played this, take your guesses.
だからレナは今その人のことで頭がいっぱいになってるに違いないのですよ。
I doubt it wouldn't be so easy as to just ask Rena who it is.
もしレナがこのまま暴走してハッピーエンドを迎えてしまったらレナの一生は台無しになってしまいますのです。
It's funny, this is like a dating sim where we don't want them to get the happy ending.
リカ、あなたのご先祖様が封印していたマジックアイテムなんですから、リカが責任をお取りなさいませ。なんだってこんな危険なアイテムがフルデ神社の秘宝なんですの。使い方さえ間違わなければ縁結びの素敵な効果なのです。それは間違いないことなのです。それをめぐって大騒動が昔に起こって大変なことになったんでございましょう。はあ、今やっと理解できましたわ。なんでリカのご先祖様が封印したかよくわかりましたわ。お社様ってなんて旗迷惑な神様なんでございますか。
Hanu's like, comes back, she's like, hey, that's not nice.
それを言ったら大昔の村の人たちももう少し神社に寄付をしてくれていたらよかったのです。ちゃんとまとまった寄付があれば材料と職人さんにもお金をかけてもっとしっかりした航路を作って封じ込めることができたかもしれないのですよ。最初から税金に頼るなんて能力のない政治家が使う言い訳ですわ。そもそもちゃんとした社会保障が必要ならもっと税金を納めろですって。
This is just going into a complete different direction
だ
here.
ったら1日数台しか通らない道路に何億も使わないでほしいのですわ。
Let's stay on topic, guys.
しかも予算を余らせたら来年から割当額が減るからって年末は帳尻合わせの工事ばっかり。沖宮のおもちゃ屋の前の道路なんて毎年掘り返してるじゃありませんか。そのくせ 一般市民の医療負担は増える一方なんてどう考えてもおかしすぎるのでございますわ。ああ、こんなこと理科に申し上げても仕方のないことでございますけど、ほんと納得のいかない話なのでしてよ。参政権のない僕たちがここで何を言っても仕方がないのです。不満があれば20歳になってからちゃんと選挙の投票に行く。
Oh, that's interesting. The voting age in Japan's 20. Oh.
それが民主主義のルールなのです。こんなところで選挙のキャンペーン活動をしていても仕方ありませんでしょ。リカ、こうなってはリカが過去のご先祖様の責任を取ってあなたが罰を受けるべきでございますわ。私がこの前苦しんだシオンさんお手製のこちょこちょマシンフルコースはいかがかしら。さとこは鬼なのです。鬼、悪魔、人でなしなのです。あれは人が持つべき道具ではないのですよ。おかわいそうですけど覚悟なさいませ。私が前にシオンさんから味わわされてる横で盛大に笑った分、苦しみを存分におくらい遊ばせでございますわ。
Suddenly, Rika and Sadako both got picked up by the back of their shirts. What are they, kittens? Meow. It was me and Shion who'd scooped them up.
さとことリカちゃまが何をジタバタしているのかわかりませんけど、何かご存知なんですか？レナさんのあれ。
リカ？
サトコは後で締め上げるとして、リカちゃん語の翻訳にはミーリンガルが必要だよな。これはつまりどっちの意味なんだ？
このすっとぼけ方は黒だね。あんたたち、レナに何かしたの？
まあ、もうすっとぼけても仕方ありませんわね。
Either way, they couldn't leave Rena like this. The two of them confessed and asked for help.
フルデ神社の司法、不わらずの勾玉？
はいなのです。不は知らずに通じると言われる縁結びのありがたい迷惑の宝物なのですよ。
巻物の挿絵を見る限りじゃ、オットセイのキーホルダーにしか見えないね。同感ですね。口の中に飛び込まなくても、レナさんならお持ち帰りしそうな形状しています。でもこの宝物、なんだか可愛い形ですね。
オットセイは繁殖力旺盛だから熱愛のシンボルだってテレビで見た気がするぜ。
へえ。だとすると、オットセイという生き物の存在が数百年あるいは数千年以上も前に日本、それもフルデ神社に伝来していた証拠になるね。なるほど、これはとんでもない大パーツかもしれないよ。
しかしわからねえな。なんでそんな宝物が空から降ってきてレナの口の中に飛び込むんだ？
ニパ
しかしお社様の宝物が縁結びとはちょいと意外だな。もうちょっとたたられたり呪われたりしそうなイメージがあるんだが。
確かに近年はお社様のたたりとか言われてイメージが随分物騒になっちゃったけど、本来のお社様は縁結びの神様でもあるんだよね。仲良くしないとたたるってのがメインだけど。そうですね。昔のフルデ神社では縁結びのお札とかを売っていたことを覚えていますよ。私も買っておけばよかったな。
でその勾玉の縁結びの効果は単なる気休めじゃなくて霊言新たかな本物ってわけなんだな。
そうなのです。だからレナは今不わらずの勾玉の力に取りつかれてしまっているのです。
赤と白でペアなんだっけ？赤を持つ人が白を持つ人を好きになるだっけ？相思相愛じゃなくて片道なんだね。
はいなのです。レナはその赤を飲み込んでしまいましたですから、白を誰かが拾えば漏れなくレナもついてきちゃうわけなのです。
なんだか珍妙な話になってきましたね。そしてレナさんを元に戻すには白の勾玉も見つけなくてはならないというわけですか？
しかもレナの様子から見るに誰かがすでに白の勾玉は拾っちまったわけだろ。このまま放っておくとレナはどんどんその人のことが好きになっていっちまうわけか。レナの本当の気持ちとは別に。
ちょっとロマンチックな話ではあるけど、相手がどこの馬の骨かもわからないってのはちょっといただけないね。拾いさえすれば誰にでも惚れちゃうわけでしょ。
そうです。拾った人が子供だろうとお年寄りだろうと男女お構いなしなのです。ましてや相手が家族持ちだった日にはいろいろと悲劇なのですよ。ニパ
それは面白そう。あ、いやそれは大変ですね。どうやら事態は一刻を争うって感じですか？
一刻を争いますのです。しかも食べても作用するので、
Oh
も
no.
し通りかかった犬さんが食べてしまったら、それはもう大変なことになってしまうのです。
I was having those thoughts in my head about like shit, what if like her dad picked it up? Or what if like an animal picked it up?
犬？それって動物にまで有効なのかよ。
さすがに可愛いからって犬とカップルになるのはおじさんちょっとパスだな。むしろ OK の人がいたらお聞きしてみたいものです。
どうしてですの？レナさんと犬が仲良くなるだけなら一番被害は軽微でしたよ。
Oh, Sadako, you sweet summer child.
サトコも恋愛をするようになればその意味がわかると思うのですよ。なでなで。
とにかく人心を惑わす魔性の勾玉だってことは理解できたぜ。手遅れにならんうちにどうにかした方がいいな。
そうだね。恋愛は自由意志が大事だよ。魔法の力で強制されるなんて良くないね。まあちょっぴりはロマンチックだと思うけどさ。
とにかく取り返しがつかなくなる前に何とかしましょうです。じゃないとこれはこれで大惨事なのですよ。
問題は白のオットセイを誰が拾ったかですね。いくらひなみざわが田舎とはいえ、どこの誰が拾ったのかわからないんじゃ手の打ちようがありませんし。そりゃ簡単じゃない。
Would they just be someone who was acting like Rena, just all like kind of dazed?
だって魔法の力でレナは白の勾玉を持った人を好きになるんでしょ。ならレナの頭の中はその人のことでいっぱいだよ。つまりレナに直接聞けばいいわけさ。
Maybe she doesn't even know who it is. Maybe she has to actually see them to know.
レナー、おじさんに教えてよ。レナのハートを射止めちゃった一中の相手は誰？
Rena's like, I told you to leave me alone. I'd seen Rena go into a frenzy more than a few times, but this had to have been the longest one yet.
はあ、そんなこと言えないよ。
いや多分こうなると思ったよ。しかし随分威力が向上したな。ヒット数も大幅に増加してるぞ。
次のパッチでは弱体化に違いないのですよ。ニパ
大丈夫ですか？
You got the Higurashi fighting game. You got Rena and Akasaka would definitely be OP.
女の子に好きな人のことを直接聞くなんて相変わらずデリカシーがなさすぎですよ。これでおじさん女の子じゃないもんで分かんなかったわ。
Oh, this is getting really annoying.
それにしてもよりによってレナさんなのですか？恋心がそのまま攻撃力に転換されるようなお方なんですのよ。なんだか話がこじれそうですわ。
That would be like her special ability if she was a fighter.
リカ、元はといえばフルデ神社の管理が悪かったからなのですから、あなたも対策を何か考えなさいませ。こちょこちょマシンの刑をなしにしてくれるのなら、もっと真剣に考えてみますのですよ。あら、そうでございますか？じゃあ、軽くお試しに体験してみて、その恐怖のプレッシャーで気合を入れるってのはいかがかしら。シオンさん、ちょっとお話が。考えますのです。あれです。ずいぶん投げやりに思いついたようでございますけど、何なんですか？
Rika-chan pointed to Rena's seat. She was reading a book now, probably because she was tired from all the sitting around and staring out the window with her hand on her cheek. Sometimes she left the horseplay aside and read a book. It wasn't an unusual sight by any means.
でも、なんだか様子が違いますわね。普段とは違う雰囲気の本を何冊も持ってきておりますわ。どうかしましたか？
Is it maybe
貞子。
a book that would be related to the person she's in love with? So they have to see, like, what the books are about?
レナさんの様子をよくご覧なさいませ。何かヒントになるかもしれませんわ。
何読んでんだろう。ここからじゃよくわかんないね。
Having learned her lesson from Rena's attacks earlier, Mion was being careful to keep more distance than she had to.
なんだあれは多分何かのハウツー本だな。何を勉強しようとしてるんだ？
写真ですね。
Oh no. Tomatake? I guess he was in the area, right? So you have to think if the Magatamas, if they fell close to each other. Then again, this could be a fake out.
写真撮影の専門誌のようです。
Uh-oh. So it's like we have to kind of extrapolate that information, but I'm like, oh no.
他にもカメラのカタログまであるぜ。
Oh, Takono's not gonna like that. Takono's gonna be like, I gotta kill Rena.
このHinimizawaでこのキーワードが意味する人物は
This seems too
一人しかいねえ
easy.
だろ。
I feel like this is a fake out.
うん、間違いないね。週刊劇者別冊ナースローアングル特集号まであるよ。もう該当人物は一人しかいない。
The last item was kind of problematic, but anyway. Anyway, given all this evidence, it had to be him. Geez, he's always just wandering around, so I can't accept him becoming Rena's forced, one-sided love interest.
はあ、レナにもカメラの使い方を教えてくださいって言ったら教えてくれるかな。
It is seeming like Tomatake. I can't see it being anybody else.
そしたら手取り足取り教えてくれるかな。ナースさんの格好していたら優しくしてくれるかな。そしたら、
Rena calmly got out of her seat. Hearts and flower petals filled her eyes, and doubtless, you'd even see a more amazing image if you peered into them.
みーちゃん。レナは急に具合が悪くなっちゃったから早退するね。
They have to like track her down and they'd be like, no, we have to keep her away from Tomatake. And the fact that he wanders around, he's like an enemy. He's like a wandering enemy. It's like, no. We can't have her run into him. How brash. Rena burst out of the classroom without waiting for school to end.
ああ、レーナー。お、いいところに立っているのはシオン。レナを行かせるな。引き止めろ。無理ですよ。さっきお姉が大変な目に遭ってたじゃないですか。
確かに、今のレナが相手じゃ、部活メンバー総がかりでも無理そうなのです。
だからってまずい。貞子。
Mion snapped her fingers and a single string dropped down from the ceiling, ending up in Sadako's hands.
早いさですわ。それ。
Sadako yanked it, and that was when the jump rope trap sprung into action near Rena's feet as she ran for the school entrance.
とりあえず転ばせて、その上からみんなで暗殺するんですのよ。ふぎゃ。
But before Sadako could finish, the jump rope tore with a loud ripping noise. What superhuman strength to tear apart a nylon jump rope like that? A mere jump rope was unable to stop Rena, and now she was already changing into her outdoor shoes at the shoe cubbies.
ほら。
Oh god, is she gonna beat up Chie?
廊下を走っちゃいけません。
先生ごめんなさい。今日は早退します。披露宴には呼びますからね。
お待ちなさい。教え子に先を越されたくなかった。ってそこ落ち込むとこ違いますから。あ、私たちも早退します。とにかくレナより先に富武さんを見つけて白い勾玉を奪おう。
それしかねえな。富武さんのいそうなところを探そう。
リカ、あなたのインチキ陽気探知機で富武さんを探し出してくださいませ。みー、その頃がとっても嫌な感じですが、この方向はフルデ神社なのです。富武は昨日撮影に来ると言っていましたから、多分境内だと思いますです。きっと高野も一緒なのです。はあ、素敵ですわ。 ほんとお約束万歳でございますわ。こういう時のカップルって必ず二人一緒なんでしょうけど。
Are we gonna see a Takano Rena face off?
ミオさん、富武さんは神社だってリカが申しておりますわ。
リカちゃん、そうなの？私もそう思ってたとこだわ。でもそれはレナさんも思っているみたいですよ。神社の方向へ走って。ってうわ、早っ。
なんて速度だ。みるみる視界から遠のいていくぞ。
それでも追うしかないよ。レナが富武さんを口説き出す前に何とかしなきゃ。
で、高野が焼いて気まずい三角関係で大変なのです。
Awkward at best, deadly at worst.
ミパー。もう別にあのカップルが破局するのは構いませんけど。
8つあたりで健康診断の時に注射の本数増やされるかもですよ。
冗談じゃありませんわ。
Meanwhile, Rena had already vanished out of sight, but we couldn't stop her. Stop here. Our only choice, like Mion said, was to chase her down as fast as we could and keep casualties to a minimum. Okay, well, quite the mood whiplash between the first episode and the second episode, finishing off just a whole thing about, like, the first chapter, the first episode felt kind of so, almost like philosophical about, like, what is the true world, and, like, just kind of a mind fuck about, like, if you do something in one world, how does that affect your other world? Does you in one world, like, is that an actual you? It was well done. I like that. I thought it was going to go a lot darker, to be honest, but I'm kind of glad it didn't. But definitely there was like some darkness implied with Rika actually having killed her mother in that previous world. And now we're going on to something where it's all about like these love magamata things. I'm probably saying that wrong. And it feels like the first episode was kind of like the main course, and now we're getting into dessert. Something a little bit more light and fun. And then the last episode being apparently that's the real depraved one, the one that people are like not sure how I'm going to react to that one, so I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. But I'm liking this one so far, and I don't know how long this one is. Maybe we can wrap it up next episode. I don't know, but I'm excited to see like all the shenanigans that Rena is going to get into, and if Takano is going to fight Rena, if everyone's going to be able to like help Rena cure her of her love sickness. I never thought I'd say those words, falling in love with Tomatake. So that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned next week for part 5. Until then, bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Emily Hornsby, Lady of Eternity, Revealing Storm, Asborn Kennedy, Jared Fan, Harry Gazif, Icognito, and Zoran Ether.